For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. Israeli forces stormed the main hospital in southern Gaza today, hours after Israeli fire killed a patient and wounded 6 others inside the Nasser hospital complex. The Israeli military said it had, quote, credible intelligence that Hamas had held hostages at the hospital and that the remains of hostages might still be inside. An Israeli military spokesperson said forces were conducting a, quote, precise and limited operation there and would not forcibly evacuate medics or patients. But a spokesperson for Gaza's health ministry said Israel had launched a, quote, massive incursion with heavy shooting that wounded displaced people still sheltering there, and that the military had ordered medics to move all patients into an older building that was not properly equipped for their treatment. Today's raid came a day after the army sought to evacuate thousands of displaced people who had taken shelter at the Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis. The southern city has been the main target of Israel's offensive against Hamas in recent weeks, though Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has indicated the focus may soon shift to the border city of Rafah, where an estimated 1.4 million Palestinians, over half the territory's population, have sought refuge to escape conflict in other parts of Gaza. Israel is facing growing international pressure to call off those plans. The leaders of Canada, Australia, and New Zealand issued a joint statement calling for an immediate ceasefire, warning that a military operation into Rafah would be, quote, catastrophic. Palestinian UN Ambassador Riyad Mansour spoke yesterday at the United Nations.
Our effort is to do everything possible to stop Israel from committing this crime of depopulating the Gaza Strip and stopping the war immediately. The guarantee to do that is to have a resolution calling for a ceasefire, and we hope that the Security Council would elevate itself to that responsibility.
Meanwhile, Lebanon's state-run news agency said the civilian death toll from 2 Israeli strikes in Lebanon yesterday has now risen to 10, making it the single deadliest day in more than 4 months of near-daily cross-border exchanges. Hezbollah has vowed to retaliate for Wednesday's strikes, which hit in the city of Nabatea and a village in southern Lebanon, just hours after projectiles from Lebanon killed an Israeli soldier and wounded 8. The fatalities marked a significant escalation in more than 4 months of cross-border exchanges triggered by the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Government institutions, schools, and Lebanese university were to close on Thursday in protest of the airstrikes. Greece's parliament is set to legalize same-sex marriage. That would be a first for an Orthodox Christian country, and the proposal has gone ahead despite opposition from the influential Church of Greece. Opinion polls suggest that most Greeks support the reform, and the issue has failed to trigger deep divisions in a country more concerned about a twin cost of living and housing crisis. The landmark bill, drafted by Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' center-right government, is backed by left-wing opposition parties. The bill that comes up for a vote today confers parental rights on married same-sex partners with children, but it precludes gay couples from parenthood through surrogate mothers in Greece. Former President Donald Trump arrived at a New York court this morning for a hearing that could decide whether his first criminal trial begins in just 39 days. Julie Walker reports.
The former president's lawyers asking a judge to dismiss his hush money criminal case involving an alleged scheme to prevent potentially damaging stories about his personal life from becoming public during his 2016 presidential campaign. But recent activity by the judge suggests it's unlikely, and the case will start March 25th, ahead of his classified documents case in Florida, his election interference case in D.C., and his other election interference case in Georgia. Trump denies all of it. Julie Walker, New York.
The Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration became the latest backdrop for a mass shooting, as gunfire sent fans scrambling for cover and left at least 1 woman dead and many others injured. Alex Gonzalez has more.
1 is dead and as many as 22 were injured by shootings at Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri. Police arrested 3 after the attacks at the parade for the Super Bowl winning Chiefs. Missouri Republican Mark Alford reacted to the situation live on CNN.
We should be able to come together in situations like this and celebrate victories, not have to deal with a shooting.
Former Congresswoman and gun violence survivor Gabrielle Giffords is calling for an end to gun violence, pointing out that it's been 6 years since the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida. Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves says she's angry because people should feel they can celebrate in safety.
We had over 800 law enforcement officers, Kansas City and other agencies, at the location to keep everyone safe.
I'm Alex Gonzalez for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
Yesterday's shooting came on the 6th anniversary of the Parkland, Florida school massacre. I'm Scott Baba for Pacifica Radio.